the income from taxpayers just covers those programs. It doesn't cover the military. It doesn't cover the payrolls for the government.
Infrastructure.
Nothing. All it covers is entitlements. And so we are running deficits right now. For instance, 2009, $1.8 trillion in deficit. This year, 2010, as we're going into 2011, $1.5 trillion deficit. 2011 deficit is forecast at $1.2 trillion. Now, let me give you an idea how big that number is. $1 trillion, if you count it, I like to tell people this, just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would take you 33,000 years to count to 1 trillion. That number is huge. And so when people hear about these bailouts, you know, right now the government has guaranteed almost $13 trillion in bailout money to corporations, to banks, to Wall Street, you know, all the things we saw happen with the car industry and cash for clunkers and all these different programs. Where did all that money come from? It was all borrowed money.
So we're doing no differently as a nation than the family that keeps getting a visa, getting another visa, getting another visa. And we all know you cannot borrow your way out of debt, right?
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. You can try that game for a little while, but eventually it is going to crash. Eventually there's not going to be any more Visa cards available. And so we need to talk about, where is this money coming from? Where are we getting the money? There's two ways to get it. We can borrow it or we can print it. And I'll talk about why both don't work well. Obviously, you can imagine that borrowing it, as we're doing, is eventually going to produce a huge mountain of debt. The thing, Drenda, is these trillion-dollar deficits are forecasted right now to go out 20 to 25 years from now. Now, I want you to think about that. Now, as these interest rates began to climb from 0 to 4, 5, 6 normal type interest rates, the consumption of the revenue coming into the U.S. government to pay the interest on this debt is not sustainable. I want to say that again. The economic forecast for the nation's financial health, if you will, is not sustainable. So we have a serious problem.
If things froze right now, it would take 25 years just to deal with the deficit we have right now. If we were not continuing to add to it, and if we were not continuing to have interest rates.
If we balance the budget right now, if we had no deficits, our balance of debt would still climb $2 or $3 trillion a year because of unfunded liabilities that we've already promised to pay. For instance, with Medicare alone, we have $100 trillion of liability we have promised to pay with no avenue or plan to pay for it.